We have a very special guest here tonight, and some of you may know Mark Handler. He's been on the path for quite a while, from what I hear. But he started with like yoga and chanting, and now for the last 10, 15 years, has been doing the bowls. And anything else you'd care to share with us, we love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank all you wonderful folks for joining us tonight. Without all of you and all the kind people, and they come to my teachings and concerts. I'd have to just do it by myself. So, there's times for that too, but I've been able to live a life where, once I liberated myself from the system in 2001, I've been able to live a life of basically as a spiritual musician and teacher, and my whole life has been basically my work in life is devoted to love, peace, compassion, service, softening hearts, and healing. And I feel blessed to be able to practice that as the core of my life in my work and my play. And so without all of you, I'd have a very different lifestyle. So thank you for joining us this evening. I'm going to let's see, can I have a volunteer for a second? You don't know what you're volunteering for, but it won't be that difficult. It's not going to be scary. Okay. I wanted to read your t-shirt later anyway. I saw the headline, but I couldn't see the others. What's your name?
Nathan.
Okay, Nathan. I want you to come here to the piano. And I just want you to pick out 3 notes. This is like a magic show, right?
Well, I want to say those 3, but...
Okay. And what's the third one?
No.
Am I doing it? Did I pick out the 3 you picked out?
This one.
Oh, okay. There. Okay.
Much better.
It would have been okay. I would have worked with it, but but I thought I'm going to have to turn that into anyway, I don't need to do that. That's not part of what I'm trying to teach you now. Okay, so... Where's the volume? Oh, there. I didn't know that's the reaction I get. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to demonstrate a way of being. And there's several lessons in what I just did. The first thing is I asked somebody to randomly pick out 3 notes. Where are you?
Right here.
Thank you. You made that very interesting.
Thank you. You made it sound good. I appreciate that.
And because what that does is it puts me in a situation that I'm in every day in my life, every minute in my life, except necessarily the moment when I'm here now, is it puts me into a situation where I have absolutely no control over externally what's going on around me. And I have no idea what my influence is going to be. And that's great. Because one of the ways we delude ourselves into pain and suffering is we set ourselves up with expectations. And we cling to those expectations. And the funny thing about it is our expectations is somehow if things go the way we think they should go, then it'll just be wonderful. The only problem is sometimes a few months or years later, when things went the way we thought they should actually go, we changed our mind and decided we were all wrong. And so, what's the point of clinging to our expectations? We can live in such gratitude and joy if we just enjoy the process of beingness, of being human beings, of being. It's not about what's going to happen or what happened or what you're going to get or not going to get, but the only thing you know you have is the moment. And, I haven't done that in a bunch of... I've played piano, but I haven't did this exercise in one of these programs in a lot of years, this particular teaching in this style. But the concept is, you come here and you're expecting a singing bowl concert. And all of a sudden the guy's just jamming on the piano. What's that about? What did I come here for? What's really going to happen? And so, it's kind of, mysteries are good. The older I get, the more I realize how at least half of it, most of anything intellectually that was ever taught to me has already been discovered to be totally wrong. And eventually, whatever is still considered right will be discovered to be wrong. And so, what am I clinging to any of it for? Why don't I just choose to be peace and choose to be love and just make that choice? And so I wanted to just teach that lesson about attachment because, yes, I spent I've been a psychotherapist, I've been a professor, I've been, decades of an activist. And the one thing we always knew as activists is we had to play when we wanted to make sure Midland didn't get a nuclear plant, we had to play with the system in order to achieve. If we were fighting the system, then we'd just be more of the inherent brutality and violence that is built into too much of the human psyche. So we needed to play to accomplish our goals. So, and view it as play as opposed to as, this is going to be a tough fight. Well, that's one of the few ones we won. But we did win a few big ones, but we lost lots. But the thing is you do go about it in a way that you give your service, you give your action in whatever you do in life, and then you let whatever unfold, because you don't control it anyway. And if you don't become attached to the outcome of your behavior, of your actions. If you don't cling to that, if I do this, and I do this, and I do this, then this should happen, and this should happen, and this should happen. Yeah, right. Sometimes we get lucky, and it works that way. But lots of times it doesn't. So the notion I was trying to share with that is, And then you ended up clapping and singing, like giving me a really nice response to the piano. And I was like, oh, maybe I didn't get this lesson right. That was a very kind response, but I was expecting people to like, what the hell's going on? So, very good at like not getting stuck in your expectations. Y'all did a really great job. I'm very impressed. Okay, so the bowls are like 100, over 100 up to, some in my concerts that could be, like this bowl right here is from the 1600s. So it's a very ancient technology. If people are so moved after the concert tonight, you're welcome to play some of the singing bowls I have for the public. I can show you how to play them. If someone wants to acquire a singing bowl, that's available. They're for sale, and there's 2 singing bowl CDs that I made that are up there. Venture into Bliss is the older one. It has me doing some Tibetan style chanting on it as well. That one is recorded at what would be the normal standard for CDs and MP3s today for anybody that audiophile type folks. The Tibetan Bowl experience, I don't do any chanting on that one, but that one was recorded at audiophile levels that weren't humanly possible 4.5 years ago. Basically, the technology came out, we embraced it within about 6 months, and then the engineer that I work with invented the methodology to be able to capture the sound. And so, I mean, I even wondered, that's a funny story, but we don't have time for it, but I even wondered, I have to admit, when somebody called me who's a total stranger and says that, like this one guy who's connected to the music and film industry in town, told him to call me as someone to consider for my new album. And I remember, as we're first getting to meet each other, he goes, well, we need to go shopping. Let's go to Lowe's. And before I know it, we're buying cement blocks with holes in them in Lowe's. And I'm thinking, I've never made a record like this where you go to a store like that and what are we going to be doing? And so it was very creative and very fascinating. So anyway, the newest one, that's 192K 24-bit for anybody that knows what that means. It just means it's audiophile. And the newer one is 20, the older one's 15, if anybody's interested. And if anybody decides to acquire both of them, then it's $25. You save $10. So I use them, people meditate in lots of different ways and forms. If it feels like an inexpensive way, that might be a nice, what my Guru Dev called it, he goes, a lazy man's guide to enlightenment. And what happened is I was doing at the Amrit Yoga Institute in Silver Springs, Florida, I was doing a concert and a seminar, and other people, it was part of a bunch of different instructors, and at the end of the week, the group was thanking for the singing bowl concerts and the stuff I did. And so then I told Yogi Desai, I said that, there's 3 CDs I basically use to meditate when I don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning. I use his Yoga Nidra chakra balancing, or I use one of those 2. And I said, and I just stay in bed and I get into a really nice meditation. If I fall asleep, it just means I needed more sleep, and I can do it later and meditate more. And so I figure it's a win-win. And that's when he came up with, he goes, I should have thought of that for one of my recordings, a lazy man's guide to enlightenment. And then everybody laughed, and it was kind of fun. Okay, so Tibetan style chant, Americans sing one note at a time. And one thing people are associated with the Tibetans is the really deep. I did it quietly, but they're used to the deep voice. And when the Mystical Arts of Tibet tour comes around. And the problem with that is that it seems to suggest that this is a methodology that isn't available to women, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you can all you're doing in this style of Asian chanting. Americans sing one note at a time. You're doing chords. So I might do, say, mid-range. So you can do it high, mid, low. It's the technique. And the technique isn't about entertaining. The technique is about using your voice like a singing bowl to balance energy, to move energy, to balance chi, to balance prana, for healing, for shifting consciousness, for spiritual elevation, all of those things. And so during this event, I'm playing the bowls, but I wanted to demonstrate that first. So when you hear me, your intellect mind doesn't go in and go, I wonder if I could do that. I wonder how you do that. How do you make that many notes at the same time? I had an emergency room physician once take my class, and he was like the slowest student in learning how to throat sing because he kept spending all his time trying to figure out how to do it rather than experience. First, you want to experience it. I mean, that's the first thing people need to do, and they need to be moved by it and get it. And once that, and then there's that strong desire to learn. Then there's a whole lot of you learn all these techniques only to ultimately need zero techniques. And just use instincts or intuition, or you plug into the divine. But at first, like a lot of things, techniques are nice. Techniques help you to be competent and then feel and help, what shall I say, reinforce your intuition, your instincts. It's like I when I was 4, I played. I could play any melody I heard on the piano with one finger. But I took classical piano lessons. And all those tools I learned in piano lessons, my teachers never taught me, when I was young, how to compose. But all those tools I learned, along with playing by ear, gave me that many more skills. And now I'm doing I'm doing a completely different school jazz study presently of things that I've never explored before, and that's just going to give. And I've noticed just in like a few weeks, I'm already hearing new compositions that sound like nothing I've ever played before. And so, we can always keep growing in our life. As a matter of fact, the choice is to grow and keep evolving and transforming, or to shrink. We don't stay the same. So I prefer the most of the time I prefer the growth route. Mm-hmm. But when I get into my Lewis Carroll Alice in Wonderland fantasies, then maybe the shrinking to get through the keyhole or whatever, that sounds kind of interesting, but I'm being kind of silly. Okay, let's go. So just enjoy. The best way to experience a bowl concert is to just let yourself feel. Each time I strike one of these bowls, feel how it feels on your body. I'm missing 2 now. That's good. I'm glad I noticed that. I'm not missing. They just don't happen to be on the...
You want the people to lie down?
I forgot to tell everybody that. Yeah, the folks who are on mats on the floor, if you want to lay down, if you're comfortable, enjoy yourself, lay down.
A lot of people like to.
A lot of people like to have their heads by the bowls.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Can we hover over the chair?
Yeah, you can do that. You can astral project, whatever you want. All possibilities. So you close your eyes and just let yourself feel. Go into a feeling state. Don't think. If you think, just watch it come and go like the wind just blowing it out of your head. Don't. Where we get in trouble when we don't want to think is, okay, I'm not going to think, and then that makes me think about not thinking, and then I can't stop thinking. Some days I teach mindfulness, and other days I teach mindlessness. Okay. Let's see. Where did John to go? Well, it's okay.
Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Babaji Namaha Daraji Namaha Hare Om Hare Om Hare Hare Om Tara Namaha Om Breathing very slow and deep. Each breath slower and deeper than the one before it. Really feel your breath. Be your breath. Be breath. Breathe. Gradually return to your awareness of your body. Breathing deeply. Becoming aware of your worldly self, part of you that does whatever you do on this planet, whenever you do it. Those that are laying down, roll to your side, take a nice stretch and roll to your side to push to a seated position. Anybody sitting, if you can get a nice stretch in without smacking your neighbor, that would be nice. Let's normally people are in such mellow spaces, and sometimes they drive the wrong way home for 20 or 30 minutes. And so my instincts, it came to me, a very simple, uplifting chant that we could do. And then we can play with bowls or ask me questions or share experiences or anything you want, or go home if you want, whatever, or go out to eat or to the bar, whatever you want to do. It's your life. It's all of our lives. It's our life. Now I'm hearing an old Eric Bird and Animal song. And no, this was not intentional, even though I could pretend two different socks were intentional. I'm just trying to start a new fashion. Just in case anybody noticed. If they didn't, it doesn't. It maybe one or two people noticed. But now I made it so that everybody can see how ridiculous I am. So I mean, why not? Okay, so the words are Hebrew, and the words are Shalom, Elohim, and I'll just start and just join me for a few verses, and it means peace be with you. And I'm not going to overtone it like Tibetan style. I'm just going to chant it. Sing it with you. Shalom Elechem, Shalom Elechem. And you don't have to do the ch. For some of you, that pronunciation isn't available. It's just like I can't do that Middle Eastern laugh or I don't know, applaud with the tongue, I don't know how to do that, but I got to okay, so Shalom Elechem, Shalom Elechem, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Elechem, Shalom Elechem, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom Elechem, Shalom Elechem, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Elechem, Shalom Elechem, Shalom, Shalom. Let's put our clapping into it. Shalom Elechem. Shalom Elechem, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Elechem, Shalom Elechem, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom. And now we start with home, like we're chanting home, our spiritual home. So we go home. Breathe. And now shalom. Shalom. Inhale, and now Om. Go within and just breathe. Feel any warmth, cold, tingling, pulsing, circulation, joy, emotion, all of the above. And open your eyes and return. Tashi Deli, for those that you didn't hear earlier, it's a Tibetan greeting that means may you awaken to the enlightenment that is already within you in this lifetime with good health. Tashi Deli. Tashi Deli. Hey, thanks so much. Does